Alright, what is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back in here on PlayStation Source, and yes, we did get some new DLC for Ghost of Tsushima, along with, of course, the PS5 patch and the enhancements that it brought with the DualSense, because oh my god, guys, the DualSense on Ghost is amazing. Definitely highly recommend it. And of course, I'll have thoughts on all that stuff in a different video in the future, but today I want to focus on something that I noticed while we were streaming the Iki Island DLC questline, which definitely go check out that stream. It's up on the channel, it's on the playlist as well, which I don't know why I made it a playlist, because there's only one installment, but I digress. You can check it out there if you want to check it out. It's about 3.5 hours long. Overall, I was really positive on the Iki Island DLC and everything. I thought it was a cool environment to explore, a cool island to see all the scenes and sights and everything, and of course the story was pretty cool as well. But involving the story, there was an interesting little wrinkle about the whole thing. Well, I mean, honestly, it's not even really little, like it's kind of what the whole Iki Island DLC is about. So spoilers ahead, if you guys have not played the Iki Island DLC, definitely go play it. I'm gonna give you guys one more chance. I get out of here because we do have some interesting things to talk about involving some things that were unveiled with the Iki Island DLC. So let's just break it down here. So first up here, of course, on Iki Island, within the Iki Island main quest, you meet this gentleman named Tenzo. He's one of the bandits on the island and everything, and he essentially, gets outed as the person that ended up killing Lord Kazumasa Sakai, of course, Jin's father.
May your death benefit all beings. Jin?
May your death benefit all beings. I've heard that before. From my father's killer.
You're hearing things. It's the eagle's poison.
Say the prayer for yourself before I end your life.
Do it. On this blood-soaked ground where your father massacred hundreds.
He was trying to save lives. You knew who I was. What you did to my father. You lied to my face.
You lied to yourself. Your father was my enemy, not you.
How did someone so worthless defeat Kazumasa Sakai?
I don't know. Luck. He slaughtered dozens of us before we brought him down. Broke his leg, I think. All I did was finish the job. Get on with it, samurai!
Not yet. You killed my father by luring us into an ambush at Senjo Gorge. That's how we're going to kill the eagle.
We need more than the two of us.
Talk to Fune, and meet me near the canyons.
We can't hide who you are anymore. But if I tell Fune...
Do it. Tell her I'm Jin Sakai. She knows I fight for Iki. My actions prove it. Tell her I am not my father. If I was, you would be dead.
So that's pretty much the cutscene there, where of course Jin, recognizes the phrase that Tenzo uses to kill this one Mongol, and of course that same phrase was used as the last words that Jin's father ever heard before he was killed by Tenzo himself. And so the quote connects the two identities, right? Because before this point, and by this point specifically, I mean before the Iki Island DLC came out, I think we just heard that, Jin's father was killed by a bandit during a series of uprisings, right? But then that is more contextualized and really more defined in this Iki Island DLC, where it is of course unveiled that he really died while trying to make Iki Island under the Shogun's rule. And so he wanted to kind of cleanse his island of all of the bandits, all of the raiders, and all of the just badness in this island, and he wanted to make it under Clan Sakai and under, of course, the Shogun rule of the law and everything. And that obviously did not happen because his efforts, of course, ended with his death. So yeah, that all checks out, right? If you just knew that, okay, cool, this homie Tenzo, killed Jin's father, and that's it, right? Well, that is not exactly the first time we've ever heard of what happened to the bandit that killed Jin's father. And so before this Iki Island DLC, right, before we could put a name to the bandit that killed Jin's father, before Tenzo was even involved, he was just simply named the bandit that killed Jin's father, right? The one that killed Lord Kazumasa Sakai, right? And so where we get this whole context is from a little conversation during the mission called the Conspirator. This is done in Lady Masako's whole type of quest line, and this is what she has to say about the bandit, that killed Jin's father.
When we find the monk, let me deal with him.
Remember, we agreed to talk to him.
The men who killed my family talked with their swords.
Masako, you will not kill Junshin until we're certain of his guilt.
Your father was murdered. Did you talk with his killer?
No.
Lord Shimura tracked him down and collected his head. You've had your vengeance, Jin. Don't stand in the way of mine.
So I bet you guys now fully understand my confusion when I was playing this Iki Island DLC and being like, wait, they already established beforehand that, the killer, right, that killed Jin's father was beheaded, or, however they take that phrase, whether it be intentional, whether it be like them, blatantly saying Lord Shimura took his head and stuff like that. Regardless, Lord Shimura killed the bandit that killed Jin's father, that killed his brother-in-law before this DLC, and now they're saying that just kidding, he's alive and he's Tenzo, right? So that's where I was really confused, and that's the real point of this video. Why is there this difference? What happened here? Is this a change in canon? Is this a mistake? Let's run through all of the different things that could possibly have been the reasoning for this little change up. And one could really be what they said in the blog about this DLC, and really how you access this DLC is after the events of Act 1. And this mission, the Conspirator, where Lady Masako lays out that, Lord Shimura hunted down the bandit and killed him, is within Act 1, right? So maybe it could be just simply Jin had no idea that the killer existed at this point and just went along with what Lady Masako was saying. That seems to, okay, yes, check out. But then we point the direction towards Lady Masako. Why does she say that? How does she even know that, right? And this goes into number 2. Maybe Lady Masako is just giving out information that she doesn't know is not technically true. Maybe Lady Masako is unaware that Tenzo is alive, or even that the bandit is named Tenzo, right? That like Tenzo is a real person. Like maybe Lady Masako didn't know that. Maybe she was lied to, and that's just what she heard from Lord Shimura, right? So maybe Lady Masako was simply just giving her side of the story as she knows it, and she was told that Lord Shimura, tracked down the bandit, and beheaded and killed Tenzo, right? That's maybe what she knows. But then if we're going to accept that, right, like Lady Masako just simply gave her truth to Jin, and that's what she knew, that is a lie, right? So she was lied to by Lord Shimura. But then again, why would Lord Shimura lie about that? Like, why would he say that he took revenge for the murder of his brother-in-law, Jin's father, the ruler of Clan Sakai, right? Like, why would he lie about killing the bandit, aka Tenzo, who actually killed Jin's dad? And why would he lie about that? And when Tenzo, is still living? Like, why would Lord Shimura lie that he killed Tenzo? We can go into a lot of different things here, and this is where we're going to focus on really, and where kind of my mind space has been on the past few days as to why did Lord Shimura lie, right? Maybe it was because maybe Lord Shimura was tracking down Tenzo, and the only way that he was able to kill him would be a dishonorable way. Maybe he couldn't bring himself to go and seep that low into the depths of revenge, and he just lied about killing him. That could be a possibility. But then again, Lord Shimura throughout the whole game was very anti, anything anything involving that goes against the Bushido code and against the samurai way, right? So wouldn't Lord Shimura have just challenged Tenzo to a duel anyway at that point and made it warrior to warrior and just done a straight up battle? Wouldn't that have been how he would have handled it? And I bet honestly that Lord Shimura would have definitely killed Tenzo 100% if they did a warrior stand, you know, 1v1 type deal, you know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. So then if that doesn't check out, right, if, you know, Lord Shimura just, you know, seeing that he couldn't kill him in an honorable way, I feel like that doesn't work out because Lord Shimura would definitely have challenged Tenzo to a battle, right? Maybe Lord Shimura felt that Tenzo was already suffering on Iki Island anyway, right? Like, even after the atrocities that, you know, Jin's dad did to Iki Island and the people within it trying to conquer it under the Shogun rule, maybe, you know, perhaps Lord Shimura kind of didn't want to continue the, you know, killing and the senseless slaying of everyone, and maybe he felt that Tenzo had already suffered enough by the hand of Jin's father that leaving him to suffer on Iki Island was already a, you know, deserving punishment for killing Jin's father himself, right? Like, maybe that was it, right? Like, maybe that could have been it, but that seems not really what Lord Shimura would do. I feel like he would have gone after him, you know? Like, he killed his brother-in-law, he killed Jin's father. I feel like Lord Shimura would have went after him, right? Or maybe, just maybe Lord Shimura just lied about the whole thing. Maybe Lord Shimura really never did actually find the person that killed Jin's dad, right? And maybe, you know, Lord Shimura just came home and lied to everyone to put everyone's ease at mind and to concrete his stance in the Bushido and samurai way in terms of him, you know, killing the person that did wrong to Clan Sakai, right? Like, maybe he lied about the whole thing. Maybe it was a completely fabricated story, and the first person that we see to ever make contact with the person that killed Jin's father is Jin himself. Or honestly, you know what? Maybe screw it. You know, let's throw it all out the window. Maybe Sucker Punch just forgot about this line. Maybe they, you know, it is a very much throwaway line, but in spite of it being a throwaway line, it is very much definitively said by Lady Masako that Lord Shimura killed and tracked the bandit that killed Jin's father. That is pretty much set in stone what was said, right? So maybe, you know, maybe Sucker Punch just forgot. Who knows, right? I think that is extremely unlikely. That is definitely not the case. What I think maybe really transpired here is a simple thing called the retcon, right? The ability for a creator to go back into their work and shuffle around some things, make some things happen a certain different way, or change certain aspects to fit a future endeavor. And I think that's exactly what happened here with this story in terms of what the overall, you know, point of this DLC was, which was to give context to the rest of the Ghost story, because of course this Iki Island DLC takes place right after Act 1 of Ghost of Tsushima, and Jin will eventually go on to, of course, kill the Khan, and as well as make that last decision in Ghost in terms of Lord Shimura himself and the fate of his life. And how exactly the Iki Island DLC added context to Jin's future endeavors in the game, in the main game in Ghost of Tsushima, is that Jin refuses to kill Tenzo during the like trippy type of like abstract, you know, vision world type thing where there is a cutscene where Jin refuses to kill Tenzo when his father is telling him to do so in the name of revenge, to avenge his death, right? Kill the person that killed me right now in front of me, right? And then Jin says that the way that you lived, you being his father, right? The way that he lived was not his choice, and his death is not his fault. And I think that this is all intended to blend into the final choice in Ghost, where Jin must either kill or spare Lord Shimura, right? In my playthrough, I did the quote-unquote non-canon decision where I ended up killing Lord Shimura just to grant him his last dying wish, right? But that is not the canon ending, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the canon ending. The canon ending is to spare him, because Jin is supposed to drop all of what he is meant to be doing as a samurai, meant to be doing by being, you know, compliant with the Bushido code, and truly go against all of that. And that would mean to not give Lord Shimura an honorable death and sparing him after they fought in combat and he lost, right? I believe this is all a part of Jin moving away from the Bushido code and the samurai way, and this is a first little wrinkle at him going beyond and doing so, right? The ability for him to not kill Tenzo is a showing and a little bit of, honestly, a bit of a kind of, you know, call forward, if you will, a little, you know, bit of Easter egg, if you will, for those that know the end of the game and how you're supposed to end the game. This is kind of, you know, Jin's first, you know, little wrinkle in doing that, and his first step into where we will see him at the end of the game. To do things a different way as opposed to holding up the samurai code. To not kill because you have to kill, but to kill in service of others and learning to let go. If he had killed Tenzo, he would have indeed just been like his father, who had killed hundreds of people on Iki Island in the name of conquering them. He would have been just like his father at that point if he would have killed Tenzo in that moment. Granted, he wasn't really going to kill him. It was more of like a philosophical way. Well, actually, you know, in the real world, actually, you know, beyond that vision, Tenzo was there. So maybe if he would have killed him in the vision, it would have actually killed him in real life. So that's a really interesting point that I just thought of right now. So I think that's essentially where we are left off with here. It is a bit of a weird choice, right, that they, you know, chose to kind of, I think, rearrange and kind of change canon as a whole and kind of retcon canon. But I think overall it does provide a really cool look at how we see Jin transforming into the ghost by the end of the game, by instilling this notion that, you know, Jin is not going to really go to the wishes of others in terms of him to become a better samurai, right? Like, he's not going to listen to his own father and asking him to seek revenge for his death, and he also will go on to reject Lord Shimura's wish in terms of giving him an honorable death. You know what I'm saying here? So I think overall it works out. It is a weird change though. But you guys let me know down below, how do you guys feel about this change? Did you catch it while you were playing Iki Island? Do you not care at all about it? Do you find it interesting that this kind of builds onto Jin's final decision in the main game? Leave me your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure also while you are down there, hit up that description where you can find links to our Discord, our Twitter, and an anchor link where you can listen to Save Slot Podcast on a variety of podcast services. Like the video if you enjoyed it, as well as hit subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.